nice warm response there as well. The 29-year-old from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Everybody's going through their individual introductions before the gun goes off on a beautiful evening here in the Pacific Northwest. Men's 10,000-meter final.
Step back, gentlemen.
The athletes asked just to step back and reset. Everybody anxious to get going.
For us, please. You guys are great.
And considering his relative inexperience at this event, Grant Fisher doesn't look at all daunted.
No, he is very composed. His coach, Shalane Flanagan, told me he's extremely confident.
All right, here we go. So, following from the unbelievable scene that we had here moments ago of Ryan Krause's shot put victory and world record, establishing the 3 going off to Tokyo for shot put. The 3 will be established here in the men's 10,000 meters.
This will be an interesting race. There are 7 men in this race who have already hit the Olympic standard. However, if someone outside of that 7 wants to go to Tokyo, they need to run under that standard tonight and make it happen tonight.
That Olympic standard, by the way, is 27 minutes, 28 flat. 27-28 even. And those 7 athletes who have met the Olympic standard already, Joe Klecker of Minnesota, the 24-year-old, Grant Fisher, Lopez Lemon, Woody Kincaid, Emmanuel Bohr has met it, Eric Jenkins we mentioned earlier, Ben True has met that Olympic mark as well.
You know, early on in a 10K, it's always interesting. You're getting your nerves out, but you want to settle in. You're going to be out here for nearly 30 minutes. You know, you don't want to waste energy in the beginning, positioning yourself. You just want to sort of slide in and get where you need to be.
Isaiah Rodriguez sets the pace early. And there is, I mentioned to you before about Emmanuel Bohr. He's the older brother of the U.S. steeplechase champion, Hillary Bohr.
He is, and you know, this is only his second 10,000 meters as well. He hit the Olympic standard in his first attempt at the distance. And right now we see these men are going for it. They are running under the Olympic standard right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can maintain this throughout all 25 laps.
Eric Jenkins in the blue and green there, right there, middle of the pack.
You can see the veterans of the sport, they're kind of sitting back right now, letting the youngins pull them along. They're just sitting back. We see a shot there of Lopez Lemon, who's made the Olympic team in the 1,500 and the 5,000 meters. He was the U.S. champion in the 10,000 in 2019. He has a great history in the sport. He is a little bit older now at 35 years of age, but he's hoping to make his 3rd Olympic team in his 3rd distance.
Well, that's such a significant point because at that age, in your mid-30s, when the Tokyo Olympics was delayed by a year, at that age, that makes a significant difference, right?
It really does. And, you know, last year Lopez was running so fast and so well. He ran under 13 minutes in the 5,000 meters, but he's had some niggles and a little bit of injury and setbacks since then. I think had the Olympics been last year, he'd be a sure thing. This year it's a little bit more uncertain, but you could never count Lopez Lemon out. And at the K, they are on Olympic standard pace. So this young crew here is pushing it to keep this race honest.
That's Connor Mance out in front, wearing hip number 12, the 24-year-old from Smithfield, Utah. He was a Brigham Young star, and he actually won the 2020 NCAA cross-country title that was held this year, March of 2021. You mentioned youngsters, and that's a theme in this 10,000 meter final. The blend, the kind of exciting blend of youth and experience. And is a future star going to emerge and be in that top 3 and have met that Olympic qualifying standard time to book themselves a trip to Tokyo this summer? So we need to step away for a moment. You won't miss a thing. We're going to go non-stop, so you'll continue to see Box in Box. And when we come back, we'll hear from that new shop. 19 laps to go here at Hayward Field in the men's 10,000 metre final. And during that break, we were going non-stop. You may have noticed that Robert Brandt, the Californian, the 24-year-old, has taken the lead of the race right now. Leonard Carrier is up there. Frank Lara, Isaiah Rodriguez, Connor Mance in that white and blue outfit is still sitting in the top 5. Galen Rupp, we'll update you on him in a moment. He is just taking his time towards the tail end of the field, but no tail end for the 3 gentlemen who are standing by with Lewis Johnson. Lewis?
Thank you.
Certainly it was Lewis, Peyton Otterdal, and Joe Kovacs, Ryan Krauser. Congratulations, gentlemen. We'll see you in Tokyo this summer. Back to it. There are 16 laps remaining. And out in front, Leonard Carrier, the 34-year-old veteran, 2016 Olympian. He was there in Rio. Finished 3rd in the 10,000 meters. 2016 Olympic trials to earn a spot in Rio. He ended up finishing 14th in Rio. Some believe that his best days might be behind him. Has he gone out too hard too early?
No, this is a pace he's capable of running. He seems to be pushing it with Frank Lara. It actually looks like they're working together. Frank Lara is from Furman University, and now he runs out of Boulder, Colorado for Roots Running Project. And it kind of looks like they're trading laps, trying to stay as close to that Olympic standard as possible. They've fallen off of it a little bit, but they're trying to get back on there.
Leonard Carrier actually came very close to qualifying for Tokyo in February of 2020 at the marathon trials. He finished an agonizing 3 seconds behind Abdi Abdirahman, who got that 3rd and final slot. So ran very well in Atlanta. Still plenty to go here, though. We're not even halfway through this men's 10,000 meter final.
It's interesting watching this race. You know, the big players, the men that have the standard, seem comfortable to sit back and kind of watch each other. We see Joe Klecker kind of for the first time here on the outside pull up alongside Grant Fisher. And now we're starting to see some bunching. That's an indication that maybe it's either slowing down a little bit or they want to move up and accelerate the pace, because before we've seen them all strung out, and now we're starting to see some bunching here in the mid-pack.
So remember we told you about that theme about experience and youth, veterans and the younger ones? Well, there's another veteran at the front, 33-year-old Emmanuel Bohr, who'd done shorter distances before, but this 10,000 seems to have suited him. And some ask the question of why didn't he try this a little earlier? Why didn't he run this earlier?
It really is confusing. You know, he's a veteran of the sport. He's been running for a long time, and he ran his first 10,000 meters this year, ran under the Olympic standard, and here he is leading the Olympic trials. So it will be interesting to see over these final laps if he makes that team. We'll have to say, should have done that before.
Should have got there earlier. Reed Buchanan in that white and grey top starting to come into the mix here, running 3rd at the moment. The 28-year-old from Manhattan, Kansas. Behind Bohr and Lara. And the youngster, Grant Fisher, now starting to come into view as well. Back in a moment. Track and field Olympic trials will go all the way through to Sunday week, the 27th. It's Emmanuel Bohr who continues to lead the way, but very sorry to report that the double national champion in 2019 and 2-time Olympian Lopez Lemon has left this race. See him in the red and white there in agony. He tried to continue and simply couldn't. That was moments ago while we were in the break. This
is a huge loss. You know, Lopez Lemon is just a joy to the sport. People love being around him, and also his teammates are out there. They will notice that he's stepped off, and they will be concerned about him. It looked like he was grabbing back where his hamstring was, and we see him here walking down underneath the stadium. Obviously a rough day, and this is what happens at the trials. We see some magical moments like we did earlier with Ryan Krauser, and then we see a heartache like this.
So from 7 athletes in this race having that Olympic qualifying standard, now make it 6.
Now we're down to 6. And so far they have not been running the Olympic standard pace, so it's going to take a big finish for anyone in this pack to get it. It's possible, but they're not on the pace right now.
All right, so about certainly heading that second 50% of the group, Galen Rupp. You may notice there's Ben True in the bright yellow top a little further back. This is more than likely his last shot at an Olympics. In his mid-30s, he's an expectant father. There's a lot going on in this guy's life. And his resilience has been amazing. He could have thrown in the towel years ago, and he has not. Whether it be training alone up in the Northeast, he had to offer an incentive to get a training partner. This is his goal. He wants to be there. He wants to go to Tokyo. He cannot stop until he's called himself an Olympian. Will that be determined tonight? We'll find out.
You know, Ben True is so gritty. He lost his longtime sponsor this year. Most people would have said, I'm done. But instead, he focused in, ran a 27-second PR at age 35 in the 10,000 meters, ran under the Olympic standard, and is here still searching for that Olympic dream.
We'll continue to follow Ben's progress, but we need to get an update on Lopez Lomong. Here's Lewis Johnson. Lewis?
Yeah, Lee, I spoke to Lopez Lomong, who was walking with that just disappointed look on his face underneath the stadium, and he told me that he had been having a right hamstring problem for a couple of weeks coming into these Olympic trials. They've been nursing it, working on it, hoping it would be okay. And he said there was a point in the race when he was running along, had to slow down just a bit because of his positioning, and then tried to make a quick change in pace to speed it up, and then suddenly that right hamstring grabbed. He said it felt like a ball, the right hamstring in the lower section of it, and he said he hoped that within a few steps it might get better, loosen up, but it didn't. So there was nothing else he could do. He said he just couldn't go another step. So Lomong disappointed that the right hamstring problem that he came in with caused him to have to drop out of these Olympic trials. Lee?
It certainly is disappointing, and while we don't want to see Lopez in that situation, it was actually a good view of the undersection here at Hayward Field, this extraordinary facility. So Brandt goes back to the lead. That's Robert Brandt. But have a look who has moved his way into third. The favorite for this event, 24-year-old from Michigan, Grant Fisher in the red and white, the Bowerman Track Club.
You know, and right behind Fisher is also 24-year-old Joe Klecker. He comes from Minnesota. He trains in Boulder now under Dathan Ritzenheim for the On Group. But he comes from Running Royalty, Minnesota Running Royalty. His mom, Janice Klecker, was a 1992 Olympian in the marathon. And his dad, Barney, is well known in the ultra running world. And so we have these two young people here. They both hit the Olympic standard. Both Fisher and Klecker have that standard. And they're in kind of unknown territory. They've never been in a position where they have a realistic shot at an Olympic team before. And they're showing a lot of maturity in the way they're racing right now.
8 laps to go, and at the pace that has been run thus far, the Olympic standard is out of reach, so it's all tactical from here. So you want to hope you're one of those runners who has the Olympic standard like these two do, Fisher and Klecker. As we say farewell for a moment, we need to step away. You won't miss anything. We're going to go non-stop, and we'll come back to finish it off. Five laps remain in the men's 10,000 meter final to determine which three will go to Tokyo to represent Team USA. Now, while we lost Lopez Lomong from this race, the stars continue to fall. Eric Jenkins, while we were away, you may have noticed, left the track and back beneath the stadium. So that's another runner with an Olympic standard qualification out of this race. That leaves just 5. Brandt continues to lead the way. But look, in bright yellow, Ben True still in the mix. Grant Fisher is there.
Lee, I think we have a barn burner on our hands. They only have 4.5 laps to go, and these are all kickers. This is going to come down to it. They have the standard. It's going to come down to a crazy finish here. This is going to be really, really exciting.
And we've been remiss to mention Galen Rupp. Count back, 2, 4, 6. He's in 8th position at the moment. The winner of the marathon trials. And they're running past the top 3 shot putters in this tournament. New world record holder. And which 3 of these athletes will join them in Tokyo is the question. Here goes Ben True making a move in the bright yellow top. He moves up into the top 4.
Now we have Ben True. He's the last of the veterans that are there now. He's the last one that can do it for the old guys in this lead pack here. You know, it's so interesting seeing this lead with Brandt, Klecker, Fisher. Such young people new to this event, don't have a lot of experience, and here they are leading the Olympic trials with just 3.5 laps to go. Also in there is Woody Kincaid, who is known for his ferocious finish. He just needs to stay in contact, stay with them, because he can kick with anyone with 400 meters to go.
21, hip number 21, 4th in line there is Woody Kincaid. Same team colors as Grant Fisher. There he is right there, blonde hair with the Sonia Richards-Ross style sleeves. Sonia's not on air at the moment, but she's waving. She loves it when people wear those.
So our remaining men with the standard are all there. We have Bohr, we have True, we have Fisher, we have Kincaid, we have Klecker. They're all right in the front. They're all eyeing each other. They know this is going to break open soon. Someone is going to panic. Someone's going to go for it. They can't wait this whole time. This is really going to wind up now.
Less than 1,200 meters to go. Lewis Johnson.
Quickly on Eric Jenkins, I spoke with him and he said that he just believes his body shut down. He's not sure if it's the heat or what, but he said his body shut down, and again, he looks disappointed as well. Lee?
Well, he was hitting some good form. He won a 5K not long ago. He had met the Olympic standard as well, which is a real shame. Robert Brandt continues to set the pace with 2.5 laps to go. Klecker is in the mix. Fisher is in the mix. Kincaid is there. And Galen Rupp is now moving into place.
Everyone should look at Fisher, 23 hip. Look at his form. It's so controlled. There's no wasted movement. Everything has a purpose. Everything's up and down. When you see a shot of him, see his arms, nothing is flailing. He always looks so in control of his body when he runs. He looks so effortless when he's running.
He's the American leader at the moment in distance running is Grant Fisher. But look, here we go. 2 to go. Things are going to get spicy now. Buchanan moves into the lead. Fisher slots into second. Klecker is third. Kincaid fourth.
This is going to get fast. This is a pace all these men can run. They've run under, so many of these men have run under the Olympic standard. This is winding up to be one heck of a finish.
Reed Buchanan going out. He wants the win. He doesn't have the Olympic standard, though. The guy behind him, the next 3 guys behind him do. And then there's B.S. Imbassa, the 27-year-old. Hip number 8 there. Before we get back to Ben True and Galen Rupp.
Galen Rupp has moved himself out throughout this race. He's put himself in a position now, and this may be a workout for him, but he's finding himself in the lead pack as we head into the second to last home stretch here. There's a lot of jostling. We're seeing people tap each other, shoulder each other. Everyone knows this is going to open up. It's been slow. They know it's going to open up, and everyone wants to have their shot, and we see Bohr enter the picture as well. Everyone is still in contention.
That was after a pretty hefty shove from Ben True. 27.28 is the Olympic qualifying standard, by the way. That won't be met. Final lap. Here we go in the men's 10,000 meters. Ben True thinks he still has a chance. He's in fourth. It's his last slot and last shot at becoming an Olympian. Klecker now rounds him up.
This is amazing. Fisher, as a 24-year-old, the second time he's only run this distance, is taking the lead. He's going for it. He's pushing, but he hasn't dropped Kincaid, who is known for his ferocious kick. But Joe Klecker is coming back. He is knocking him. He had this over to the BGC athletes.
The top 3 have the Olympic standard. Grant Fisher. It's only the second time he's run at this distance. But here comes the man with the kick. Woody Kincaid, his teammate at the Bowerman Track Club. Woody Kincaid takes the lead into the final stretch. Now it's teammate on teammate. The 28-year-old from Littleton, Colorado, Woody Kincaid, is going to Tokyo. Wins the 10,000 over Fisher and Klecker. All 3 have the Olympic standard. All 3 go to Tokyo.
That last lap was a 53.3. I knew there were going to be fireworks. You have to lose Kincaid earlier on. You cannot leave it to 200 to go. He has such an amazing kick. What a finish by all of those men. Joe Klecker hanging on for that 3rd spot, making an Olympic team at age 24. His family's one of 6 kids. They're going crazy right now. And Ben True finishes 4th. Worked so hard to get back to where he is right now and just finishes in agonizing 4th place.
That was awesome. At the end of 25 laps of Hayward Field, it all came down to this.
Look at Kincaid. He can smell it. He knows it's there. You have to drop him before then. Even Grant Fisher, with how good he is, he cannot keep him away. You have to drop Kincaid earlier than that. He sees that finish line. He's all the way through. Grant Fisher never loses his form. And then we see behind him Joe Klecker hanging in there. He can't believe it. He made it happen, Olympian.
What a finish. What a finish. 27:53.62, the winning time. Not that that matters because the top standard, and there they are, the Olympic rings next to their names. Lewis, they're off to Tokyo.